The dimly lit coffee shop buzzed with the low hum of conversation and the occasional clicking of cups. Wine sat across from Jungkook, her fingers idly tracing the rim of her cup as she looked at him with a mix of curiosity and skepticism. So you are really up for this? Wine asked, raising an eyebrow. Jungkook leaned back in the chair, a playful smile tugging at the corners of his lips. Why not? It's just a harmless arrangement. You pretended to be my girlfriend, I pretended to be your boyfriend. We get people off our backs and no one gets hurt. Weinstein leaned forward, but no feelings, no complications. We are just doing this to keep everyone else from meddling in our lives. Exactly, Jungkook noted, his eyes gleaming with mischief. No string attached. They shook on it, sealing the deal with a light-hearted agreement. It seemed simple enough. Just an act to fend off the uh, relentless matchmaking attempts by friends and family. Neither of them wanted to be set up with anyone, so a fake relationship was the perfect solution. A week later, Ryan found herself walking into a lively university party with Jungkook by her side. He had his arm casually dropped over her shoulder, pulling her close as they made their way through the crowd. To everyone around them, they looked like the perfect couple, laughing, whispering inside jokes, and stealing playful glances to each other. Jungkook's touch was warm and gentle, his fingers tracing small circles on Ryan's shoulder. You know, you are surprisingly good at this, he whispered in her ear, his breath tickling her skin. Ryan chuckled, trying to ignore the future in her chest. You are not a bad yourself. Maybe you missed you calling as an actor. Maybe, Jungkook grinned, his eyes sparkling with amazement, but I think I am getting too good of this. For a moment, my heart skipped a beat. The way Jungkook looked at her, the way he held her, it all felt too real. But she quickly shook off the thought. This was just a game, a performance for the sake of conversation. As the party went on, Jungkook remained attentive, his presence comforting while confusing. One could not help but wonder if he was just that good at pretending on it. There was something more of his action, but she dismissed the idea as soon as it crossed her mind. After all, they had made a deal, no feelings, no complications. Weeks passed and the act continued. They attended events together, shared lunches on campus, and even studied side by side in the library. But somewhere along the way, the lines began to blur for Jungkook. It was during one of their study sessions in the library that Jungkook first realized his feelings for Ryan were no longer part of the act. He watched her as she concentrated on her notes. Her brows furrowed in deep thought. There was something about the way she chewed on the end of her pen, the way she pushed her hair behind her ear, that made his heart ache in a way he could not ignore. Ryan, he called out softly, breaking the silence between them. Ryan looked up from her notes, her eyes meeting his. Jungkook hesitated for a moment before speaking. His voice changed with melody. I don't think I am pretending anymore. Ryan blinked, confused by his sudden change in tone. What do you mean? I mean, Jacob took a deep breath, running a hand through his hair. I think I have fallen for you. There was a push, a heavy silence that hung between them. Ryan stared at him, When stared at him, searching his eyes for any sign that this was just another part of their act, but all she saw was sincerity, a sincerity that made her heart pound with a mixture of fear and disbelief. You are joking, right? Ryan forced a laugh, trying to play it off Ella as a prank. This is just another part of the game, is not it? Jungkook's expressions turned seriously, the playful gleam in his eyes replaced by something far more genius. No, Ryan, I'm not joking. I'm serious about this, about you. One smile fluttered, her heart racing as she processed his words. This was not supposed to happen. They had agreed no feelings, no complication. She was not prepared for this. I I don't know what to say, Ryan finally whispered, looking away from him. Jungkook reached across the table, gently taking her hand in his. You don't have to say anything right now. I just wanted to be honest with you. Ryan pulled her hand away, her mind racing with a thousand thoughts. She could not do this. She could not let herself believe that Jungkook's feelings were real. It was safer to keep her distance, to maintain the boundaries that had set. I think we should stop this, Van said. Her was trembling slightly. It's getting too complicated. Jungkook's heart sank, but I noted understanding her hesitation. If that's what you want. Van stood up, catching her things in a hurry. I'm sorry, Jungkook. I just need some time to think. Without waiting for a response, she left the library, leaving Jungkook alone with his thoughts. He watched her go, a sense of loose setting in his chest. He had taken a chance, but now he feared he had lost her for good. Over the next few days, while avoiding Jungkook, she ignored his calls and texts, keeping herself busy with anything that would distract her from thinking about him. But no matter how hard she tried, she could not shake the memory of his confusion. Why did he have to complicate things? Ryan wondered as she walked across the campus. She had liked the simplicity of their arrangement, the safety of knowing it was all just parented, but now everything felt uncertain and she did not know how to handle it. Jungkook, on the other hand, was growing increasingly frustrated. He could not stand the distance between them, the way one was shutting him out. He had been honest with her, laid the hardware, and yet he refused to believe them. Finally, unable to take it any longer, Jungkook decided to confront her. He found Vine sitting alone on a bench near the campus garden, her eyes lost in thought. Vine, he called out, his voice firm yet gentle. Vine looked up, started to see him standing there. She opened her mouth to speak, but Jungkook did not give her a chance. Why won't you believe me? Jungkook demanded, his eyes filled with a mix of frustration and hurt. I'm serious about how I feel. I'm not playing around. Vine looked away, her heart heavy with doubt. Jungkook, I have been hurt before. It's hard for me to trust that this is real. Jungkook took a step closer, his gaze unwarning. I'm not whoever hurt you in the past, Ryan. I'm not here to play games with your heart. I care about you more than I ever thought I would. Ryan felt tears flicking at the corners of her eyes, but she quickly blinked them away. She had always prided herself on being so strong, on not letting her emotions get the better of her, but standing there, hearing the sincerity in Jungkook's voice, she felt her resolve beginning to crumble. I'm scared, Vine admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. What if this is just another act? What if I let myself believe you, only to get hurt again? Jungkook's expression softened as he reached out of gently cupped her face in his hand. Then let me prove it to you, Ryan. Every single day, I will show you that I am not going anywhere. Ryan searched his eyes, looking for any hint of deception, but all she saw was a depth of feelings that made her heart ache. She wanted to believe him, wanted to let herself fall into what could be something beautiful, but the fear of being vulnerable, of getting hurt, held her back. I don't know If I can do this, Swan whispered, her voice trembling with uncertainty. Jungkook leaned in, pressing his forehead against hers. You don't have to decide right now. We don't have to rush into anything, but please just give us a chance. Swan closed her eyes, letting herself lean into his touch for the first time. The warmth of his skin, the steady beat of his heart against hers, it all felt so real, so genius, and for the first time in a long while, Vine allowed herself to hope. Okay, Vine finally breathed, her voice filled with a mix of fear and determination, but we take it slow, no rushing. Jungkook smiled, relief wasting over him. Slow and fine with me as long as we are really pulled her into a gentle embrace, holding her close as they stood there in a garden, surrounded by the quiet hum of life. You still had her doubts, still had her fears, but for now she was willing to take the leap because sometimes the scariest things in life were the ones most warm, taking a chance.